drives your success. We are your hosts, Coach Ablaza, and
And Coach Mark,
here we dive into the strategies and mindsets and habits that help you thrive in your business and in your life. Coach Mark is a business brilliance coach assisting with businesses through his virtual summits, in person conferences, and coaching program. He is an international transformational speaker and recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award for service from the Biden administration in 2024.
and Coach Ablaza is a branding expert, mindset coach, and the CEO of Pink Collar Brands. She's helped hundreds of female entrepreneurs build strong, profitable brands and turn their dreams into real life businesses. Good stuff, girl. You
Yes.
ready to level up, coaches? Y'all
Yes.
ready to go?
We ready. Let's go.
Ready, let's go.
All right. Let me introduce our guest today. Uh, we have Dr. Rhonda Wood with us today. And Dr. Wood is a global mental health advocate, international speaker, best-selling author, and media personality known as the mental health change maker. Go ahead with your bad self.
I love it.
She is the host of the Dr. Rhonda Wood Show on WBGR TV network, where she highlights the world's top change makers. And she has been featured on major platforms including CBS, NBC, WHUR, and iHeartRadio. A two-time Presidential Life Achievement Award recipient and board member. I had to write this down. The National Alliance of Mental Illness. All right. PG County chapter, Dr. Rhonda is dedicated to breaking the silence on mental health. She equips leaders, entrepreneurs, and communities with strategies to embrace balance, resilience, and holistic well being. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff.
Yes, I love it.
So let me say, guys, we really talk about resilience a lot. We talk about mindset. We talk
Yes.
about chasing
Yes.
our goals and going to the next level. Today, we kind of stripping off the filters because if you don't have your mind right in terms of mental health, none of that other stuff matters. And so, mental health is the heartbeat of it all. And
100%.
yeah, so Dr. Rhonda, just give us a little. I know I introduced you, but that was the short one. Anything else I need to tell the folk? We want to tell the folk about you before we ask you a few questions.
Man, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I appreciate you both. I'm so happy to be here. This is really exciting, and I can't wait to dive into some juiciness today.
All right, all right, all right, all right. You got anything you want to start off with? You want me to kick it off, Doctor Coach Ablaza?
Oh, yes. I'll kick it off. I'll kick it off. So, our topic today is balancing business and personal life. So, managing stress and avoiding burnout. And I know burnout is very real because I have experienced it, right? So, we're going to give you some tips and tricks. Well, it ain't really a trick, but we need you to do it though. But so that you don't burn out. Because just like Dr. Mark said, he said, if you don't got this right, you don't got nothing right. So, go ahead, Coach Mark. I'll let you get us started.
Okay, listen. What I'd like to know, Dr. Rhonda, is what moment or experience made you realize that mental health had to be a part of the success conversation?
Let me tell you, I'm so glad that we're having this discussion today because Mark, I know you know a little bit of my story, and Coach Ablaza, you may as well. But I call myself a recovering corporate America professional. So, guys, over 20 some years in corporate America, and there was that one day. Now, first of all, let me back up a little bit. So, I'm in corporate America, right? And like many people who are, we're fresh out of school, we're climbing that corporate ladder, right? So, we're there to be all that we can be. Um, and in many instances for me, there were days when I would either go into meetings or be on projects or be on teams where you guessed it, it was either not a lot of women or not a lot of minorities. So then I felt this personal responsibility like, don't be embarrassing us, Rhonda.
I
I
feel.
felt like you know what I mean? And so there were days when it was like I felt like I had to be on 10 all the time. You know, even when it was a stressful environment, when it was high energy, high demand, coming in early, working through lunch, staying late. So, coach, when you talked about burnout, let me tell you, there was that day, right? So, I always felt like I had to show up with my head held high and a smile on my face, even when I felt like behind the scenes or beneath the surface. I really wanted to like just close my office door and have a breakdown. And I remember seeing a therapist at the time, guys, for the level of stress that I was experiencing. And I'll never forget my coach, he kept doing this. He kept saying, "Girl, you this close. Dr. Wood, you this close. You this." And I'm like, what is he talking about? He said, "You're this close to having a nervous breakdown."
Oh, about the snap.
Now,
Okay.
now let me give y'all the scene. Now remember, I'm a recovering corporate America professional. So even when I went to see him, I'm in my suit. I'm in my high heels. I got my hair all gelled up in a nice little bun. Got on my pearls. So when he looked at me and said, "You're close to having a breakdown," I knew that he could see through the exterior that I was projecting. And I think many of us show up like that. We show up in the workplace, we show up in our businesses, we show up, in our community with our head held high and a smile on our face because many of us, that was what we were raised to do. Not only that, but that's what society taught us to do.
You know what, Dr. Wood, I'm gonna just say this because it's like it happens to us. I remember being in corporate America, having graduated from college with a degree in building construction technology, and
Wow.
being the only black male in the room, and you
Hmm.
end up hearing things because people kind of forget and say things, and you're like, but you're glad you're there though because you know it's good to know. But many high achievers, we push through stress thinking it's part of the grind.
Yeah.
uh, you feel like you're just doing what you got to do,
Right.
especially when folk are always telling you you got to be 10 times better. You got to do this. You got to do that. So how do you help leaders or entrepreneurs recognize when that drive is turning into burnout?
Well, I think you said part of it, Mark. I think first of all, there has to be sort of a self awareness. I think that's the first step. Because burnout doesn't happen overnight. You don't wake up one day and say, "Whoa, yesterday was fine, but today I'm burnt out."
That's it, right.
It's slowly, it's like a slow, gradual type of thing. Sometimes it's going to be, fatigue that lasts for a long time. Some people would even call it chronic fatigue. There may be signs of irritability. You might have a loss of motivation. You might just feel kind of disconnected some days. So I think self-awareness is definitely the first step. I remember, obviously, many of us, when we first started our job, we had that get up and go, right? We can't wait to get into the office. We can't wait to get to work. We're excited. We're skipping to our loo. When that
Mhm.
starts to fade, those are usually signs of when you're sitting there, you just kind of like, man, I don't even want you on your way to work and you already looking like you had a bad day. So those are some of the signs. That first step is definitely a self-awareness that there's some type of emotional withdrawal or disconnection. Your creativity starts to fade. There starts to be a decline in your engagement. Some people call it quiet quitting. Like you're just kind of
Yeah.
checking out, but it's more on a subtle, almost passive type of thing. So the first step is definitely just having a self awareness. Like, you know what? I'm not myself. This is not me. Something's going on here. Something is out of alignment.
Okay. So how can leaders kind of create cultures where mental health is normalized instead of stigmatized? Because particularly in the African American community, if you have to get on the couch, that's seen as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And I call out our community because I know a lot of Europeans who that's just part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They feel no type of way if they need to go get on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason in our community, have you noticed that, or is that just something I'm seeing? I mean,
No, 100%. And I think we have, I think some of it, a lot of it is generational, right? How many times have we felt like if I take a step back, if I rest, if I don't push, then that must mean I'm being lazy, or that must mean I'm being selfish, or I must be wasting time. So a lot of times I tell my leaders, or even the people in my community, hey, listen, you know what? You got to check in with yourself before you check out. Check in before you check out. You
right,
know, we have to monitor our own emotional dashboards. We have to, find when we feel like things are when we're struggling to focus, when we're not showing up as our best. Um, I would tell my team, um, the your when you're when you feel like your performance is shifting, then that's the time for you don't want it to get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, this is too, you want to have those check-ins with yourself prior to things while it's small before it gets big. Now what that might mean, okay, you might have to prioritize, set priorities on, for me, 3 is a magic number for me. I set 3 priorities each day. 3 priorities, and then I celebrate
wow.
the
Wait
wins
a
of the
minute,
things
wait a
that I
minute.
get.
Let me interrupt you for a minute because I had written down something, and I skipped it. And this is funny. Listen, I wrote this down. I said, what are 3 mindset
Wow.
shifts
Mm-hmm.
that can immediately improve someone's mental well-being in the workplace or in their business?
Wow.
And I said, I don't want to put it on the spot giving the 3, but then you said 3. So
Yep.
I got to double back.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a 3. Give me 3 or something where that would help someone out here that like me that's looking and needs some help.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would say, setting manageable priorities. For me, it's a number 3. 3 is manageable. 3 is manageable. Setting boundaries. Like for me, I'm saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to work from this time to this time. You know, Prior to that, I would say, here is what I need to get done today. Even if it takes me all day, all night. Even if it meant going in early, working through lunch, staying late. That's not it. For me, it's setting boundaries, even with my day. Having off hours, setting those boundaries and then protecting them. Saying I'm not going to let anything come in between me making sure that I only work this number of hours. And Mark, you hit on something important where there are times when we just push and push and push and give and give and give, and we take on too much because we think somehow that's a badge of honor, or we're trying to prove something. I remember when I first started at my corporate job and they were giving me responsibilities, I felt like, man, I finally got a seat at the table. Now I got to prove to everybody that I belong here so that they
You
don't
got to
think.
keep sprinting. Yeah,
I felt like I had to prove something. I felt like me working like that made it look like I was a good choice, and like I had to prove something to them. I didn't have anything to prove to nobody.
that's right. That's right.
If it meant me sacrificing my well being, I did.
Now I think I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask you this anyway because it might be a little different. For
Mm-hmm.
someone listening who looks successful on the outside but feels
Mm,
empty or overwhelmed inside, what's the first step to getting back to peace and purpose?
mm. Someone who looks successful on the outside, but might be breaking. Is that what you said on the inside? What's
On the inside, they feeling empty, overwhelmed. They're projecting properly,
mm,
but that's part of the stress. You
mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm, right,
but
exactly.
now you gave me those 3 steps, and I'm thinking that probably that first step you gave me may be the answer to this, but I wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm,
You know, and I think when you said setting boundaries, that's such a powerful thing
mm-hmm,
because I'm actually, does this fit in there? Because what I have done in the past, and I forget where I learned it from, it wasn't original to me, but I said, you know what? I'm going to set appointments for myself on my calendar.
mm,
And I'm going to make sure that I keep those appointments because I value me.
mm-hmm,
Mm,
Because
mm,
if you're not careful, as soon as somebody calls, you're like, oh, I'll just get back to me. But
mm-hmm.
if you
right.
keep getting back to you, it's nothing left for nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I, I love how you talk about your calendar because I like to treat my calendar as sort of like my sacred space. Anything that goes on there
Yeah,
is sacred. Only the important things, not whatever other people think needs to go on there. And I think a really important thing that we need to make sure we embrace is avoiding feeling guilty, and sometimes having to set a boundary or having to block out time for ourselves. Even if it means sitting in a room with quiet, it might mean reflection, it might mean a few minutes of exercise, it might mean time with family, but that sacred space on our calendars should be guilt free and they should be non negotiable.
I
absolutely,
love it.
absolutely.
I love it.
What you got, Coach Ablaza? You got something
Well,
for us?
what I got for you today is I have my question right
I
here.
love it.
The Presidential Legacy Lifetime Achievement Award. Did you say you got that two times?
I have two, yes, from the last
Okay.
two administrations. Yes, I'll have an Obama one and I have a Biden one. Yes.
Okay, y'all, look, drop
Overachiever.
some fire. Yes, I love it. I love it. So I don't, I'm sure it's a correlation with what you're speaking on. Can you tell us, like, why did you receive that? Just tell us about the experience.
Sure, absolutely, 100%. So, I told you guys a little bit about my corporate life. So, I made the very unpopular decision to step away from the corporate world. I raised my hand. I volunteered. I didn't wait for somebody to say, you know what, Rhonda, maybe you need to take some time. Nope. I said, hey guys, I'm going to take some time away. I'm going to take some time to prioritize me and my family. So during that time, not only did I prioritize my wellness, my mental wellness, and that of my family, I began looking for groups of support as well. And I became an advocacy in the mental health space. I began speaking on platforms to our elected officials, to our community leaders about why mental health is important at home, in the workplace, and in the schools. And I tell you guys, I didn't wake up one day and decide to do that. That was sort of where I was led, and I loved it so much. And I saw how mothers and police officers and even these elected officials were leaning in to learn more about my experiences. Because here I am, like I said, a corporate professional who had to take time away so that she can prioritize her mental wellness to continue to be effective in her home with her family and in the community. And so that body of work grew, that it gained recognition, and that was how I earned the two awards.
I love it. I love it. That is awesome.
Yes. So yeah. So
Yeah.
this
Let me
mental
ask
health
you, Doctor.
advocacy. Hmm.
Yeah, Doctor Ron. Let me ask you something. You know, you and I have had the opportunity to be in, events together and on stages
Yes.
together. And one thing I noticed, and the first time I met you, you actually interviewed me, and you were a powerful, powerful interviewer, and
Thank
you
you.
drew some stuff out. But there's something consistent about you that I want to ask you about. And I actually want to ask both of you this question, um, because it's a consistent theme that I see and I value when I see other professionals. And that is that you both have integrity and you both are about what you say. And I don't just say that. Basically, I have to see somebody for a minute before I go there. You know what I mean? And it's like, Dr. Rhonda, even when I ran across you, we were headed to an event. I ran across you in the airport,
Oh yes, I
you
remember.
know, and
Yes,
we ended up doing a live. It was
we
the
did.
same Dr. Rhonda.
We did. I
You know
love
what I
it.
mean? So I want both of you, if you could, to share with our audience in an environment where it's cutthroat sometimes and people, do what they do to get ahead. How do you all, as young professional women, maintain that integrity and be about your business like that? Because I really value it and appreciate it. You can hit it first, Dr. Rhonda, and then we'll let Coach go.
Okay, well, first of all, I appreciate you, Dr. Mark, just saying that from the time that you met me, behind the microphone as an interviewer, and the time we were in the airport and did the live, that it was the same me. And I think that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned when I stepped away from the working environment. That just happened to be the example. I could have stepped away from any environment that was high demand, high stress. But one of the things that I learned is, Rhonda, stop putting up a face, because that's the expectation of them. The thing that I think was most important for me was to be real. Rhonda, keep it real. Be authentic. Be you. And once I stepped away, I took a step back, and I had that sort of time to have the reflection and really figure out what was going on with me on the inside, and really begin my healing process and de-stressing and peeling back the layers. I said, I'm going to show up authentically me. I'm still lead. I'm still going to do great things. I'm still going to set goals, but I'm going to do it from a place of authenticity, where I'm going to always be real. I'm not going to be one person in the workplace, one person at home, one person in community, a different person on stage, and a different person if you bump into me in the airport. I'm going to be the same individual.
Well, you're doing that, and I appreciate it. Now, go ahead, Coach Ablaza. What do you say to that?
Okay, hold on, because I remember the integrity part, but give it to me one more time. One more time.
Just as a person, it's like what I'm getting at is it's easy to be fake out here. It's easy to
Right.
be somebody who, if I act like this, I could get in this group. If I act like this, I can do this
Mm,
position.
right.
But I think what
Okay.
delivers people and what really helps people is when they see us in our authentic selves, because they say, I can't hold all those faces, but I can be me. And when I see
Right.
you all
Okay.
show up, I see you showing up as yourself. So how do you
Right.
maintain that?
Well, how you maintain it is when you tell one lie, it has to have another one attached to it, and it goes on and on again. And it's two things that happen when you do that. First of all, you can't even remember that lie. My memory is not that
That's true.
strong. Okay.
That's true.
I'm not gonna be remember that lie. Okay. And then two, it's like now you're lying to yourself. You're not lying to these other people, because there's one person that's always with you wherever you go, right? You can't escape that person. So I had to be authentic, because that's how I need to show up in front of people. If I show up fake, if I tell lies, when I show up, they're gonna know the difference. And then I'm gonna be considered as a fraud. So I'd rather just be me. I don't like being called a fraud. But yeah, and with that, you gotta have character, integrity, and honesty, and respect for everyone that you come into contact with, because you never know who you're coming into contact with. It could be a millionaire, a billionaire that wants to bless you, and you over here being fraudulent, fake, and negative, and that just ain't gonna work. Mm.
Well, let me tell both of y'all. Coach Blas already knows this. I be all up in people Facebook and all up in their
Yes, yes.
Instagram and looking and seeing. So I don't say this lightly. I say it from personal experience, and I just want you to know that I both appreciate you both for what you bring to the table. Now, Dr. Rhonda, let me ask you this: when you're going through your own mental or emotional challenges, how do you refill your cup before you try to pour into somebody else's cup?
I love that. We've all heard that saying about, you can't pour from an empty cup, but you also
Hmm.
can't refill an empty cup if you don't even recognize that it's running dry.
Come on
So
here.
again,
Mm.
that goes back to that self awareness piece, and I can't stress that enough, because a person who doesn't even recognize that they might be having an issue, that they might have the stress or the burnout, that they might be, feeling unmotivated, or feeling like they want to isolate, or feeling, I don't even want to, my motivation is decreasing. All of those things start with self awareness. A couple of things that I've learned from the nonprofit, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, prioritizing self-care, having a really good support group has been super important for me, sort of a personal one and a professional one. So I have, obviously, I see a therapist, but I also have sort of my close circle of friends who I can lean on when when things might not be, when I might not feel like myself.
Hmm.
Call a
Hmm.
friend, a lifeline, or whatever that might be. And again, not that there's anything wrong with wanting to be successful, right? Wanting to have great things. Because a lot of people think, oh, if I take a step back, then that means, I'm not doing anything, or I'm not, achieving anything. But knowing that, success can be costly, but success without your wellness prioritized, that's just burnout in disguise. That's just going, 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 pushing, 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 and not recognizing that it's going to, at some point, you do need to take a break without the guilt.
Wow. Okay. You look like
Yes.
you're ready to say something, Coach. What you got?
Yes, I'm getting ready to say something. So I want you to go into detail for some of our viewers. They may think that it takes money
Mm.
to have a release, to take a break. They might think that your wellness is somehow tied to a vacation. Can you get
Mm.
into that?
Ooh, yes. So, um, yeah. Well, for me, for Rhonda, when Rhonda took, when I initially first took my step back and prioritized my wellness. No, now a lot of us, we love that travel therapy, and we love that retail therapy, and we love that spa therapy, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
Right.
what about just the meditation? What about physical
Mm,
exercise? What about journaling? What about prayer? What about nature walks? And my most important one that I absolutely love, just quiet time. Just
Come on here.
mm,
Hmm.
quieting the noise.
yes.
Quieting the noise, yes.
Love it. I love it.
Let me ask you, Dr. Rhonda, what role do faith,
Mm.
purpose, or personal values play in maintaining mental health and balance in your life?
I love it. So can I start by just sort of
You can start wherever you
I
want.
want to crush one myth first of all, because I think there's a lot of people of faith, whatever that means for our viewers. There are a lot of people of faith who feel like because I am a faithful person and believe in whatever higher being, that must mean that I am not allowed to struggle. I'm not allowed to have stress. I'm not allowed to have bad days. I shouldn't have depression. I should be able to pray it away or something. And that is completely untrue. So your wellness, your mental wellness and your faith can exist in the same space. What has helped me,
Mm,
my faith, my support network, those are two things that help keep me grounded. Whether it's my prayer,
mm,
my board of directors at NAMI, my community, or even me just saying, you know what, I'm going to unplug from the noise and just, whether I take a day or take a weekend, just to enjoy me, to
mhm,
enjoy my
mhm,
life
mhm,
and the things that bring. I realize this. So I am someone who involuntarily I am affected by the seasons. When it begins to get dark and it begins to get cold, it affects me. So that's
I
when
don't like it.
I have to have the self-awareness to say, Rhonda, it's up to you to make sure you are injecting joy into your day. So I'm making it a daily responsibility for me. Find joy in your day and prioritize your wellness. So if there are things that are disrupting my peace or my joy, they get the boot. and,
That's right.
and without
yes.
guilt. And it could be people, it could be environments. Sometimes it's, I hate to say it, sometimes it's even family, folks.
Hey,
They
in
may not.
whatever form it comes, it
Yes,
got to go.
right, Coach? Yes,
Got to go.
yes.
Yeah, I
Let
love
me
that.
let
I
me
love that because,
go ahead. Go ahead,
oh,
Coach.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I just
And I was
wanted
just
Dr. Rhonda
saying,
to know. I wanted Dr. Rhonda to know how in sync we were right now,
Oh,
because I'm gonna
wow.
read you. I'm gonna read you the next question I had, just so you'll know how on point you are on what you're saying. Listen, my
Wow.
next question was, what's one misconception people have about strong leaders when it comes to mental health, and how can we redefine what strength really means? And I repeat that question and don't
mm,
act like it wasn't there, because you actually had to go before your response and deal with that. So frame it like this and just restate what you said about you know being strong and that thing. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about?
So yeah, and I think a misconception about leaders, about leadership, about being on the
Mm-hmm.
front line, about having a team is that you have to always give this perception that you're strong and controlling in charge. But again, that sometimes that's
Yep.
not leading authentically. When you can say, hey, when you humanize and not weaponize your mental wellness and well-being, when you can say, you know what, hey, I need to take a day or I need to take some time, you give them permission to do the same, to be real and authentic as well. Leaders need safe spaces as well. They need to be able to protect themselves against burnout. Let me lead the way in that so that my team knows they can do the same thing. Protect yourself against factors or external influences or even internal influences that might lead to burnout. And that might mean starting small with little things like taking a day or even taking 10 minutes in a day, but making sure we are
Yes.
protecting our peace like our life depends on it, because we
Yes.
are, we're our most valuable asset. I am my
That's
most
right.
valuable asset, so I have to make sure
Exactly.
I take the time to do the things that nurture and protect me.
I love that. I love that.
Hmm. Let me. You have something, Coach Blaza?
Oh yes, I was just gonna say that you know, when you're a strong person, people also, like connect themselves to you. And it's like you have to prioritize your breaks, your wellness, your phone call. Just because somebody answers, I mean, just somebody called doesn't mean you have to answer, like
Right.
Coach Mark was saying earlier. So I totally agree with what you're saying. And the last thing I wanted to say was that it is a common misconception that strong people don't need a little pat on the back, that they don't need a little fill my cup because we're strong in one area. Doesn't mean that we're strong in every area.
Every
So we can
area.
always use a pick me up or a hey, how you doing as well. So yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Oh man,
All
that was
right.
powerful. Thank you, Coach, for that. That was
Yeah. N-
powerful,
Yes.
100%.
Yes, indeed. Now, Dr. Rhonda, you have a virtual summit coming up. Could you tell us a little bit about that, like when it is and who is the ideal person? Some of our people may be listening that would like to either attend or even
Yes.
be a person that is involved. So, can you talk a little bit about that for me?
Yeah, 100%. So the name of the summit is called the Live with Purpose Virtual Summit, and it's going to take place on International Day of Purpose in 2026. Did y'all know that it was an International
Mhm.
Day of Purpose?
No, now we know. Yes, I
Yes.
Now
love
we
it.
know.
Yes. Yes, so I'm really excited about that. It's about 6 months out, and so I'm still in the planning phases. We're behind the scenes putting everything together, but it's for people just
Okay.
like we talked about, Pe- the high achievers, professionals, thrivers,
Mm-hmm.
coaches, change agents, all of these people who are go getters who need to take a
Oh,
step back and get
okay.
re-energized so they can get back out there and do the great things that they were called to do, and serve the people who they were called to serve. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be about June 2026. So you can mark it on your calendars. I'll be putting some information out about that soon so that people can make sure they can tap in, sign up, register, or share
Awesome.
their own
Awesome.
expertise as well. So,
Yes.
mhm.
Love it.
Awesome. Now, you also are going to be doing some things in London. I know that you're expanding your international events. What do you have coming up in London?
Yeah, so the cool thing, Mark, is that, when we talk about prioritizing our mental well being, when we talk about reducing stress and burnout, those aren't local issues.
Mhm.
These are global issues. So,
Yes.
Mark, just like you, and I'm
Yes.
sure as well with you, Coach Ablaza, we don't have to just stay local and just speak to our local community. We branch out and be able to speak to larger audiences. So,
Mm.
I've been to London 4 times now. I've been to France three
Okay.
times. I've been to Belgium, and I've even been to Hong Kong and Beijing, spreading that mental health and
Okay.
wellness. Yes.
Yes.
So I'm returning. I got an invitation to return to London next year. It'll be March
Okay.
2026. Yes, and it's an event, more of a charitable event, but I get to, I'll be the mistress of ceremony or MC, and I'll be speaking to a global audience about wellness, and raising money at the same time, for
Sure.
nonprofits. So really excited about that opportunity.
Okay. Let's just give the organization that you're a part of, National Alliance of Mental Illness, a shout out. Is that like a international? I'm
The
sorry, it says national, so why did I ask you that? You know.
Yeah. So yeah, it is from coast to coast. And if you Google it, there is
Okay.
probably, most of your viewers, the ones that are in the United States, if they aren't already familiar, they've probably been
Mm-hmm.
touched by it in some way. The National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI for short. It is the nation's largest grassroots nonprofit that focuses on providing free mental health resources for individuals and their
Oh,
families affected by mental illness. Now, the factor is free because anyone who is
wow.
struggling with mental illness, we don't want them to um, have a barrier in getting services or resources because it's
Yeah.
non-affordable. So all of our training, education, even our partnerships in the community, the different events that we do are all free, which is why we have at least one big fundraiser every year. It's called NAMI Walks, and we have them from the East Coast to the West Coast, throughout the United States, and throughout the year.
Okay.
So for my town, so there's one in where you are in the Baltimore area, Mark, and there's one down here where I am in the Prince George's County area. Ours is in May. Some of them are in
Mhm.
October, some of them happen this month, but it allows us to meet our fundraising goals. We do get some money from the state, but they're always trying to cut back, so we make sure that there is nothing that prevents people from getting the help and the support that they need, especially those who are feeling like there's no hope out there. We want to make sure they don't feel like they're alone.
That is a big
Okay.
deal. I don't know if you said the website.
So the website, the parent organization NAMI, NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI.org, but my affiliate in Prince George's County is NAMI PGC for Prince George's County. So
Okay.
NAMIPGC.org. And you'll see all of our
Love it.
events. Yes, and one of the things I wanted to mention is that we also have, a lot of people may be familiar with the event Giving Tuesday. So Giving Tuesday, some people look at it,
Yes.
oh, this is a United Way campaign where you can give to a nonprofit. So I would love to encourage your viewers to think about supporting NAMI or even NAMI PGC on Giving Tuesday, which is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So NAMI Prince George's County, we're going to be doing a lot of activities in our community. We're going to be partnering with a coffee shop called PJ's Coffee. We're going to be partnering with, yeah, I love my I love my coffee in the morning. That's one of my mental health boosters. And I love
I
food, so
know that's right.
and also a couple of restaurants we're going to be partnering with, and some of our community partners, reaching out to, a few restaurants, Panera Bread and Chick-fil-A and things, Starbucks, to be able to be partners with us on Giving Tuesday to support our mental health goals and initiatives in the community. So we're really excited about that as well.
Awesome. Love
Right.
it. Love it. Love
Listen,
it.
I wanna. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I have a rapid fire, but I'm gonna let you go first, and
Well,
I'll
let
do
me
that
let me hit
after.
this. Let me hit this first. I just want to share something because it's like some people know and some people don't that I was a pastor for 24 years,
Wow.
and
Mm-hmm.
as a pastor, people expect you to be strong through every
Mm,
situation, even if
Mm,
it's
yes.
touching you personally, right? So
Yes.
I have something that I'm going to share with people that I have to share with myself. It's mental health is
Mm,
not a weakness. It's the foundation
Yeah.
of our strength. Every dream, every goal, every legacy depends on our ability to take care of what's happening inside of us. Healing isn't a
Yes.
sign that you're broken. It's proof that you're still fighting for your brilliance. So check in with yourself, check in with someone else, and remember, no business pays greater dividends than peace of mind and purpose of heart. That's
Wow.
something that I have to say to myself
Mm.
because a lot of
Yes.
times I don't have somebody to reach out to. And something that the Bible says is encourage yourself. If you can't find nothing else, encourage yourself. So I wanted to share that because a lot of times you don't want to put your business out there. You don't want to do whatever, whatever, whatever.
Right.
But you could have something that you say, a confession, something for yourself.
I
So, Coach, go
love
ahead and hit
it.
that rapid fire.
Yeah,
Well,
that was a
before you hit
big
that rapid
deal.
fire, Coach, I just want to say, Mark,
Yes.
thank you so much for that transparency. I definitely appreciate that. And I
Yes.
think you're right. I think there are people who look to certain people, certain types of leaders in our community, and they think that you guys are almost, I mean, you kind of are superheroes, but that you don't have any issues. You don't have anything wrong. As a matter of fact, that the pastor in my church just went through a recent cancer diagnosis, a very serious. This is the
Mm.
lead pastor, and so for us to see
Wow.
him down and out, and him needing prayer when he's typically the one doing the prayer,
Right,
Mm.
made us have
right.
a whole
Right.
different level of respect for him. And and along those lines, you guys might remember when it was there were two people in the Olympics. One of them was Simone Biles, right? And there was another person, I think a tennis player. They took a step back. They stepped
Mm-hmm.
away from
Mm.
the voice in unpopular opinion because people were criticizing them, like, how dare you do this? You're jeopardizing the
Mm.
gold. You're supposed to stick it out for our country. They took a step back.
Mm.
Simone Biles left the Olympics, prioritized her mental wellness. And what did she do when she came back? Came back with a vengeance and won that
Whipped
gold
everybody.
like they owe her money, honey. So
Wow.
I say that to
Yes,
say,
girl.
in the instance of you, in the instance of my lead pastor, in the instance of so many people who actually take that time to do it, you actually end up being better.
Yes.
I feel like
Yes,
I'm a
being
better
better. I love
person.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I just actually heard an artist, a music artist, he took a step back from going on tour to
Mhm.
prioritize his mental health, his mental wellness. So
Mm.
you gotta do it. You can't pour
Yes.
from that empty cup. But okay, let's do this rapid
All
fire really
right.
quick.
Let's
It's the
go.
balance and burnout edition. Number one, morning must haves: coffee, meditation, silence, or all of them.
Mm. I would say all of the above. If
All of
I
the
if
above.
I
Okay,
had to
number
pick one,
two,
silence.
silence. Okay, all right. Number two, one boundary you never break for balance.
Saying no. I
Saying
love
no.
saying no.
No is a
Say
full
no.
sentence, full answer. N-O. Okay.
No is a
Number
complete sentence that
three,
requires no justification or explanation.
come on, say it again. Number three, work late or wake up early. Which one are you?
Wake up early, 100%.
Okay, me too, me too. Number four, best way to reset when you feel burnout creeping in.
Pray.
Pray. I
Also
love
go
it.
for
I love it. I love
nature
it.
walk.
Thank you.
Nature walk as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
love a good nature walk because
One-
it's just beautiful. It's just
Yes.
beautiful. So,
Yes.
Coach Mark, do you have anything for us before we go?
The only thing I have to say is the strength is in showing that you need help, not in covering it up and trying to
Mm,
press on for yourself. So if
100%.
you need
mm,
help,
yes,
speak up.
I
yes.
was so
I love
afraid
it.
of judgment and
Mm,
rejection and being talked
mm,
about when I spoke up and said I need to take some time. I didn't want to look weak. But let me tell,
Yeah.
and even going to therapy, I thought, man, that's such a weak thing. But best decision and strongest decision I ever made. And like I said, I am a
yes.
stronger, better person. I am better because of it. So appreciate you
I
guys.
love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And anyone watching this, you just have to speak up. If you need help, just speak up and somebody will be there for you. Coach Mark, do you have anything coming up? Books, speaking engagements, anything like that?
Mm.
You know what? I have my book that's called my leadership book coming out. It's coming out, and I also am very excited about it because I made an app to go with it, and I'm like, what is going
Oh
on?
wow.
How did I do that?
Oh
Okay.
But it's
wow.
called Leadership Across
Yeah.
Time and Culture, and it talks about how
Okay.
true leaders just blend into. You know the saying, "There's nothing new under the sun," but they haven't
Right.
heard it from you,
Mm.
right? And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
that authenticity, that being genuine and giving
Hmm.
may be the same information. And Coach Ablaza, you and I talked about this before. People say I heard that before. Yeah, but have you done anything with it?
Have you
You
done
know,
it?
so coming
Yes.
out with that, going to come out with another virtual summit. We'll talk about that some more, but I know we're
Awesome.
Okay.
running low on time, so I'm gonna let it loose.
Okay. Um, well, as you know, I have my book, Who Motivates a Motivator. The forward is by Les Brown. And
Wow.
just like we talked about in this episode, the motivator, the coaches, the pastors, the speakers, the mental health advocates, we all
Mm,
need to motivate ourselves to
yes.
transform again, right? From the cocoon to the butterfly, right? And then also, I've been handing these out when they purchase their book. You get a GPT. It's called Who Motivates a Motivator GPT. So
Oh,
when you're
nice.
not feeling well and you feel like you don't have anyone to call because you're at the top, some of us are the
Wow.
only people that we know that are doing something else, that are stepping outside of that regular box, right? So you can
Yes.
ask the GPT, like, hey, I'm down and out. What can I do? It's going to
Wow.
tell you some of the things that we said on this episode. So, Dr. Rhonda, what you got for us before we go?
Wow. First of all, I just want to say thank you again to both of you for the invitation. This has been amazing. It has fed my soul. I love it. Y'all keep doing the great work that you're doing. If I had to leave you guys with some last words, I once again want to say that your mental well-being is going to start
Hmm.
with you
Hmm.
being aware, your self-awareness,
Yes.
and also don't be afraid, like without guilt, don't be afraid to set boundaries. Boundaries are not barriers, they are bridges to a better
Yes.
balance. Boundaries are not barriers, they're bridges to a better balance. And I also want to remind everybody that if they want to connect with me, I'm Dr. Rhonda M. Wood. I'm at Dr. Rhonda M. Wood on all social media platforms.
Yes. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
no, Dr. Rhonda, that this is part one.
Yay!
Part one. Part
Yay!
one.
Does
Yes.
that mean I might get an invite back?
That's exactly what it means.
I love it.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love you guys.
Love you too. Thank you for coming. Make sure you support Dr. Rhonda. Follow her on all platforms. The work that she does is it's amazing. Even the
Oh, thank
president said it.
you.
So y'all gotta tap in. But
Two of them. Yeah.
two, not one. What they said, Coach Mark, two. Okay, hold on, quit
Two.
playing.
Duh. Yeah.
Two.
As the young people do,
Okay,
right?
two. Oh man, yes, this has been a good episode. So, what I want to tell the viewers right now is thank you for tuning in to the Mind the Business That Pays You podcast today. If today's episode brought you value, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. Everybody needs mental wellness, right? Every single person. Remember, your success story starts here with focusing on what truly matters, which today was your self care. Until next time, keep minding the business that pays you.
That pays you.
Right.